the ultimate fragrance collection, kind of on a budget. What I mean by the ultimate collection is we're going to start with some really mass-pleasing, easy-to-wear fragrances that pretty much everyone will love. And then we're going to move on into some more unique, more challenging, but I think still very beautiful and attractive fragrances. And you can get this entire setup it's 10 fragrances for about $200. So we're going to dive into this, but before we do, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. I've got videos coming out every couple days. Also, give the video the ultimate click on the like button if you like it. And let me know down in the comments, what would you add to this list? You know, just the ultimate collection that you could get without spending a lot of money. All right, let's start with some really mass-pleasing, easy-to-wear fragrances. I think we start with this one. It's a super cheapie. It's from Parfums Belcam. They're known for just the least expensive fragrances. This is about a $9 fragrance I'm going to show you. But it's a clone of a very mass-pleasing popular fragrance, Paco Rabanne Invictus. This is Belcam's Gladiator. And it is basically Invictus with one caveat, that being that in the opening, you're going to get that fragrance alcohol. You know, with lower quality fragrances like this, that is not surprising. But after a few minutes, 5 minutes probably, that lifts off and you have something that smells extremely close to Invictus, which you can pretty much wear anytime, anywhere. And I will tell you, this one's about a 6-hour fragrance, where Invictus on me is like an 8+ hour fragrance. Gladiator from Belcam. Next up, this is just a little 1-ounce bottle, but I've been seeing bottles of English Laundry fragrances more and more at the rack stores. Burlington Coat Factory, Ross, TJ Maxx. And so these are commonly popping up nowadays, more so than I've seen in a long time. This is a clone of Versace Eros, a vanilla mint, very attractive, aromatic, sweet vanilla fragrance. This is Oxford Blue by English Laundry. It's a very good interpretation of Eros. I've got 4 or 5 clones of Eros. And as far as the EDT goes, this is about as close as you're going to get. And you can get the big bottle, the 100 ml, usually for around $20, sometimes even $15 if you find it at the rack store. So again, Oxford Blue, that's Versace Eros. All right, next up, again, these are super mass-pleasing, super versatile. The last one was more leaning towards cold weather. This one is more leaning towards warm weather. It's a clone of Lacoste L1212 Blanc. This is Armaf Hunter EDT. This was the original. The Lacoste was my summer signature scent for a couple years. It's just a very easy to wear, woodsy, floral, slightly sweet, slightly citrus, a touch of spice, a little bit of cardamom. It's just a very attractive, kind of sporty scent that you can wear anytime, anywhere, but especially in the summer. Again, Armaf Hunter. All right, so now we're shifting gears just a little bit. These are still going to be mass-pleasing for sure, but just a little step up. These are, heading a little more niche. All right, this one is a clone of Angel Share, one of the most mass-pleasing niche fragrances. This is Fragrance World's Cocktail Intense. And I've got, a small collection of fragrances that smell something like Angel Share, and this is definitely one of the closest. It's a slightly boozy, warm, vanillic, cinnamon-spiced, kind of woody fragrance, but really it is sweet. It's sweet cinnamon with some booziness. Again, this is Cocktail Intense by Fragrance World. All right, next up, this one is a blue fragrance, which is, again, always going to be mass-pleasing, but it's a clone of a high-end designer, like a private line designer blue fragrance, which definitely has some niche qualities. This is a clone of Bulgari Tiger. This is Tarathi Blue by Afnan. And it is basically citrus. You've got a lot of grapefruit and some other citruses in the opening, somewhat sweet. But then you go right into a very aromatic, heart. You've got some significant green notes. You've also got some sort of woody ambroxan fragrance chemicals, so it's fresh, it's invigorating. The aromatic twist might not work for everyone, but the majority of people are going to love it. Again, this is Tarathi Blue by Afnan. All right. This next one has been called a clone of Ultra Zest by Mugler, and I've never smelled that one. However, this basically smells in the opening like a creamsicle, and then it transitions into something like Creed Aventus, but sort of an oak mossy, musky version of Aventus. So set a creamsicle, orange vanilla creamsicle, on top of a oak mossy Aventus, and you get this Insurrection to Emperor. It's very attractive. The majority of people are going to love it, but the transition from the opening into that, very different fragrance, I would say is not going to work for everybody. But if you like Aventus, it doesn't smell exactly like Aventus, but it's that kind of fragrance with a good sweet orange vanilla opening, then this is, pretty much going to get you there. Emperor, and this is Rayan Tradition Insurrection to Emperor. All right, so now we're heading a little more into niche territory. These are things a little more challenging, but we're not getting, not going anywhere extreme yet. This one's a clone of Parfums de Marly Herod, super cheap, $20. Most of these have been very, very affordable. And this one's a clone of Herod, which is a tobacco fragrance. This is Maison Alhambra Hercules. It's basically a vanilla tobacco fragrance. The reason this one's a little more challenging is not everybody can do tobacco. There's a little bit of funkiness, there's a little bit of spiciness, but mostly you get this warm, sweet vanilla with some texture. It's just a great fragrance, again, that most people are going to love. This is Hercules. All right, now we're going to transition into some things that are a little more challenging. This next one has a very noticeable oud note, as well as a little bit of civet, which is an animalic note. This is a clone of Parfums de Marly Leighton Exclusif. So they took some very dark facets and laid it on top of Leighton, and this is an awesome clone of Exclusif. I have two clones now. This is the best one. This is Fragrance World's Anikid. And this is very, very close to the original. I think they did a masterful job of capturing the oud, civet, coffee, darkness. I would say in this one, those notes hold on a little more than they do even in the original. So again, this is Fragrance World Anikid, a little more challenging. My wife doesn't really like this one, but there's still a lot of Leighton, about 70% Leighton in this fragrance, including the original Leighton Exclusif. All right, next up, now we're going more challenging. This is a Killian's fragrance that's got a very potent woodiness and a very potent booziness. And so again, this is one that's not going to be for everyone, but most people who are into fragrances are going to appreciate it. And so this one is El Dorado Kingdom by Kamara Perfumes. And this is a clone of Killian Straight to Heaven. This black leather gives something away. This is a dark, leathery, boozy fragrance with some woodiness, some spice. This smells like a $200 fragrance. I got this, I think, for $15 at TJ Maxx. It's one of the best Killian clones I've ever smelled. It's really insane. Again, Killian Straight to Heaven, boozy, woodsy, leathery, dark. Not everyone will love that one, but I love it as an evening fragrance. It is out of this world. And finally, this last one. This one is a clone of a very challenging niche fragrance that I would say is definitely not for everyone. This is a clone of Amouage Interlude. This is a super cheap Ard Al Zaffaron clone, Midnight Oud. You can get these little 50 ml bottles on Amazon for $10, usually maybe $12. But this is a smoky incense herbal fragrance. I don't particularly love this one. I've worn it, 2 or 3 times a year the past few years since I've had it. And Some people love this DNA, and I'll tell you, I recently went to the mall to really test how accurate is this, and side by side, this is like a, significantly lower quality clone that still gets about 85 to 90% close to Amouage Interlude Man. Again, this is Midnight Oud by Ard Al-Zafran. The 100 ml looks a lot different than this bottle, but it's going to get you very close. But it's a dark, smoky fragrance that's got, I think it's like rosemary, maybe even, there's just some herbal green, very almost like you're making a stuffing kind of herbs mixed in there with this fragrance. Surprisingly, my wife actually kind of likes the way this one smells. So different strokes, but a clone of Amouage Interlude Man, sometimes called the Blue Beast. And that one is a beast, especially for the first 5 or 6 hours. So this has been a very diverse fragrance collection that's going to take you from stuff everyone will love into things that are much more challenging, that really give you an idea of what niche perfumery is all about. And you can get this whole collection for around $200 if you find them in the right places. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Do you have any of these? Are they any good? Also, remember to give the ultimate click to the like button if you like the video. I'm Justin. This is Sillage Scents. I hope you'll subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.